Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of, well, not an episode. This is a playthrough of Surviving Mars. And you see me replaying the same map that we usually do. Say, to look at the settings. I keep meaning to put the location and the difficulty in the description, but starting to get the hang of this map. The reason why I'm playing this map over and over is to familiarize myself with uh, this map, and so that we could do an episode or episodic series regarding this map. I usually learn a game by playing it over and over, restarting and seeing a pattern and what to do, and I get a lot quicker in achieving different goals for the game. So one of the things I learned is the dirt. So each extractor has a dirt path or a dust cloud area of effect that shows up when you press control while you have the building highlighted. If you press control, it shows all the other buildings and their actual distance to where or that little gray area where the dust usually comes out. So as part of the challenge, I thought that I wouldn't want to get another rocket land as part of my regular gameplay, but I figured what what would count. Until I build the dome is actually having a rover, which really helps out. Once I get the research done and all those detect tree unlocked. So this is one of the things that we need, anomalies. We need them analyzed, and the only way to do it is with an explorer. So that's why I needed a rocket with a payload like that. Those are generally quick. They're small launches. I forget what the encyclopedia or the little journal says about where these things are, or where they are in regards to Mars and Earth. I had a feeling there are things that are already in orbit, but they're actually not. I don't know why these little payloads of the vehicles seem to be quicker than the actual rockets that come down here. So here we have a mission about drone prototypes. I'm accepting these things. Hopefully it's not a bad choice. But you get these little missions and little storylines that occur.
Anomaly analyzed.
There's more to the barren environs of the Red Planet than meets the eye. A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder. So long as you
When you're playing the game, I don't know if they're automatically generated, but I do have a storyline going on, which is a pretty interesting game mechanic for this thing. There's going to be a thing that pops up too. So there's different scenarios that ask you questions, and you often have two or three choices. The ones or more than that, and it's not always like a positive thing that comes out of it. You'll see with this prototype mission, there's something that becomes complicated, but I believe there's missions that are suited for your type of play. Like for me, I am Space Y, and my guy's an engineer or a futurist, I think. So I picked a choice where it's unlocked if you're a futurist. There's another thing that shows up. So we got a couple of choices here. I wish I can actually read these things while it's playing and I'm recording the game, but I don't really have a second monitor to look at it. When I used to do editing with an actual computer, I had more than one monitor, and the output would show out on the second monitor. I only got one this laptop. So this is one of the missions that was complicated, and one of my playthroughs was a Sterling fault. If you have really long line, there's a greater chance of things faulting, right? So the power line, the Sterling fault generator was one of those things. It was leaking all that energy. Another anomaly analyzed in another mission. So slowly expanding this part of the base. So when I play this map, there is only a couple of places where I could build comfortably, knowing that there's water and knowing there's concrete and metal. So those are the three things I learned that I have to concentrate on. I also need polymers, but until the colonists come and allow us to mine different things, it's definitely a challenge. So here's an introduction to the underground. Surviving Mars, there's the underground area there. They allow you in the middle of the game to sacrifice your rover to be able to go down into deep, but I don't think I want to take that risk. It's the only one that I got, and it would be a shame to lose it. Bunch of things. So that X mark shows that there's something wrong with the building. Guys are heading towards to build that the water tower and the extraction unit. So for a long time when I was playing game over and over, I put the water extraction unit really close to the water tower, and eventually that thing failed. I didn't realize that all extractors have waste product. They all have a zone of dust, so it's pretty interesting. So here's one of the things that we have. There's a malfunctioning drone. So my drones are malfunctioning. They came from this place that did a trade with us, and now I show my ability to be, since I think it's an engineer or the futurist, we know how to fix things. So I isolated the code and was able to upgrade and avoid the situation that I'm in with the drones, which is they're malfunctioning and they get destroyed. Good news is, I guess the good news is that I can salvage them for parts. Bad news is I can't really utilize them. Another thing I learned is if you click on these depots and add a number of things, right? If you pull the slider a little bit, the drones automatically try to fill it, which is something I have to remember to do. So this goes with waste products, right? The land site, the landfill goes with that. It also has to do with fuel or any perishable or things that you've made. So I gotta keep an eye out on that. Here's all the pipes that are made. I put the fuel production area away from the other stuff because I have a feeling it might blow up if a meteor hits it. So I'm also thinking about the depots, the fuel depots. They're also vulnerable. So when I was explaining the other episode of Surviving Mars, not episode, the playthrough, I was talking about the Stirling generator, right? So if you close it, it's protected by dust, but if you open it, it actually gets stronger. It has a larger power amount. I gotta remember to scan different areas. I'm just scanning around my local vicinity so that I could explore around. But eventually I'm gonna have to put a command center somewhere so drone centers something I'll put. What was I trying to place there? So we got the extraction unit, the water tower, and then we got the fuel maker. Yeah, that's what we that's what we accomplished in this episode. I do eventually, I'll show you in the next episode, I finally have colonists. I launched another rocket and chose a bunch of colonists based on some filter sets. But when I do the next playthrough, I'll show you something else I've learned. Anyway, this is all the time that I have. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please consider liking the video, and please consider subscribing. I update every 3 days, and I'll see you in the next video. This is John Nezodam signing out. Take care, stay safe, and remember, you're essential.